How many times has this happened to you? You know, you're just talking to a 13-year-old girl, stroking her face. She's a stranger. And stroking her hair and whispering things. And she just does everything she can to get away from you. And then you say, can I just get a picture with the two of us? How many times does that happen to you?
You mean last week?
Yeah.
There's the 5, the 4 to carry the 6. 117 times last week.
Really?
With me, yeah. That's very common, Glenn.
Did you carry the 0?
Oh, you know what? 1,160 times.
Thank
You're
you.
right. I didn't carry the 0.
I didn't
carry the 0.
I mean, this happens to us all the time. Last night, my wife was watching, some of the footage of. I'm just pulling up footage of. Here he is here. Here he is here. Here he is here. She had not seen it, and I'm telling you, we're at the place with creepy Uncle Joe that we were with Michael Jackson. You know, when we're all like, okay, well, that's kind of creepy the way he has these, young male stars hanging out at his house. And, there was somebody going, he's got a Ferris wheel in his backyard. He's molesting children. And it was like, no, it's just Michael Jackson.
Seems weird to put up a funnel cake stand in your driveway, though.
You want to see the snow cones in my bedroom? I don't think so.
It seems to be almost like a breadcrumb trail of treats to a locked room with a bunch of cameras coming down the hallway. Why?
I don't know. I don't know why. Look, kids, I've got candy in my closet. Okay, that's a bad sign. Bad sign. And when we're looking at Joe Biden, we are going to be, at some point, I fear we're just going to be going, how did we not? Why didn't we say? What happened there?
Yeah. This is interesting because this could be a reason he actually doesn't run, right? I mean, he was accused, in case you didn't hear, of inappropriate behavior behind the curtain of an event in 2014 for the Latina Victory Fund. Mm-hmm. And
he loves Latinas.
I don't know. Maybe he does. And so,
well, he loves the smell of their hair.
He does seem to like the smell of the hair. So he was. We pointed this out many times before. We were way ahead of this one. People are like, oh, well, maybe you got this wrong or you got this wrong. Well, we got this one right. The smelling the hair thing, we've been on this for a long time. There's some strange thing he has about the smell of a woman's hair or the back of her ears.
Not sure what it is. And stroking their faces and cupping their breasts. Other than that, no big deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
No big deal. Just candy in the closet, kids. That's where I keep my candy. That's where every adult keeps candies.
And this is very similar to the Bill Clinton thing, right? Where the left excuses this uncomfortable behavior because the guy's really important and we have to say good things about him. So he's at an event. Apparently, he comes up behind the lieutenant governor candidate in 2014 in Nevada, and does the thing he's done on camera 500 times, which is put the hands on the shoulder, walk up from behind a woman, put his hands on both shoulders, lean in, take a big whiff of that hair, because there's nothing better than the smell of hair, and then she feels uncomfortable, wants the interaction to end. He whispers something in her ear, and this is a strange one because when you have these other previous Me Too moments, there's usually a denial of some sort. And here there really isn't. I mean, she's just describing the thing we've all seen on camera 100 times.
Yeah. This is not like we don't have to say, oh, I wonder if he did that. We know we've seen him do it 100 times. I have a whole catalog of pictures here of him
doing that exact thing.
Of him doing it. Now, listen. There are times that I've taken picture with people, with women. I'll have my hand around their shoulder. I'm nowhere near anything personal. I'll lean my head in. If they're like you just connect with them, you might lean your head into them, but not your face. You're looking at the camera and you kind of just lean into them, and they're. You're hugging and you're affectionate, but not creepy affectionate. Not like touching people, touching faces, cupping breasts, anything like that. It's creepy.
Yeah, and there's different lines for different people. Like, I've never been a hugger. myself,
I am.
and you are, and I think that became a thing. Like I remember when people started hugging when you met them. Like I remember being like, "This is weird," but then you kind of like, "All right, I guess this is what people do," and then you hug people, and then later on, I remember the side hug coming in. I feel like that's a relatively recent development.
What's the side hug?
The side hug is when you like. You go. You know how for a hug you go where a typical hug would be two arms and you're kind of I don't know you're bringing the person in, you're hugging them.
Yeah.
The side hug is you kind of bring in, it's kind of half. You're around like one arm and you kind of bump sides. That's the way I would describe this.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like a side bump.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's like you pull them in and you're both kind of facing the same direction as you're hugging. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That sort of side hug thing.
Yeah.
And that I feel like is, you notice some people do that, some people don't, and of course as a person, you just respect the boundaries. You sense the boundaries or whatever, like whatever the person's doing, you kind of just replicate it. I don't really feel comfortable necessarily hugging people I don't know, but you kind of just do it. Whatever they're doing, you do.
Right.
Joe doesn't have that part of him. It's whatever he wants to do, he just does.